Today is a good day to work through and acknowledge those things that limit you from having unity and wholeness, as well as stability in your life. We want to really pay attention to what feelings, what deep, intense feelings are rising to the surface, and how do we usually deal with those feelings? Because we want to acknowledge that there is something that limits us from experiencing that unity with ourselves, unity with other people, and has a lot to do with those deep-seated feelings and how we allow them to affect us. And so let's be very conscious and acknowledge those feelings. What are those feelings? What are they bringing up? How are you used to dealing with those feelings? And how can you now break through those habits, break through those norms and standards, that superficial level that has just kind of kept you suppressed, kept you holding those feelings down? And it's time to really acknowledge those feelings and deal with those feelings in a healthier way so that you can have wholeness and unity with yourself and other people. Because as well today, we want to really compartmentalize our thought process. We want to look at all those thoughts that are coming up, and we want to really compartmentalize and pull each part out of that thought. And so that might sound a little tedious, but with the Sun in Gemini, Sun and Gemini trying to Pluto and Aquarius, we really want to compartmentalize our thoughts and really pull out the pieces so that we can begin to acknowledge our beliefs around what we believe we represent, what we believe the collective future is, what we believe our future is, our beliefs are for the future just in general. And so the more that we can kind of like separate and compartmentalize those thoughts, we can become clear with what part of our beliefs have become implemented upon us and perhaps weren't even your own original ideas. And so we want to look at those thought processes, and we want to acknowledge what part of these thoughts are yours and what have been implemented on you, and how can you start to restructure your thought process and pull away those things that have been pressed upon you so that you can have a clearer idea of what you want your future to look like, what we want our collective future to look like. There's a lot of things that are pressed upon us that we just assume that's just how we should think, that's just what should be part of our thought process, but that's not necessarily true. Sometimes those things are pressed upon us unknowingly, and so this is a day to be conscious of that. And we also have Venus in a nice parallel to Jupiter, and they're going to be conjunct tomorrow. So it's a wonderful time for a relationship. So today isn't necessarily a bad day by any means, but there could be some things like if you're choosing to continue to suppress those feelings that are coming up and you're continuing to do those things that keep you from experiencing unity and wholeness, then perhaps you're not going to have the most ideal day. But if you can acknowledge those feelings that are coming up and really say, like, I need to stop how I'm handling these feelings. I need to really address the habits, the norms, the standards that are just holding me down from really breaking through that superficial level that are not allowing me to thrive. So if you can do that, this can really mean that you can have good relationships today. You can have a wonderful day. Venus parallel to Jupiter is a very nice energy for relationships, and they're going to be conjunct tomorrow. So overall, this is a good time, but just that's why it's a good time to work through those emotions and those feelings, because when we have good energy to help us work through this, it can make that process a little bit easier. So I hope that helps you all, and if you'd like a personal reading, you can contact me at 11kaivarose33.com.